Hello everyone, I'm meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your 2 p.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. Now we've got again a story we brought to you earlier today. Want to highlight it again as a wrong-way crash has unfortunately killed a Washington man. The crash happened at around 11:30 p.m. last night on US 64 near Everett. Troopers say that 47-year-old Corey Swaw was heading westbound in the eastbound lane when his vehicle collided with an 18-wheeler loaded with potatoes. Now, he died at the scene while the tractor-trailer driver was taken to the ECU Health Edgecombe Hospital for minor injuries. One lane of US 64 was shut down for about 4 hours due to the crash. And now we also want to turn our attention to the ongoing government shutdown and the fact that the president has unveiled his new Board of Peace despite the partial shutdown. NBC's Alice Barr has more on the developments.
President Trump eyeing two fronts today, greeting world leaders at the inaugural meeting of his Board of Peace before heading to Georgia to talk up his economic policies. The battleground visit part of a push to get on the road and boost Republicans ahead of the midterm elections.
Georgia is obviously a very important state to the president and to the Republican Party.
The president set to focus on making life more affordable as some federal employees are now working without pay, while the Department of Homeland Security is in a shutdown over Democrats' demands to reform ICE and Border Patrol tactics.
The ball is back in the court of the White House because they have our most recent response.
The White House calling that proposal unserious, confirming President Trump has not had recent direct discussions with Democrats, despite his saying Monday that he'd sit down with them this week.
I will, but we have to protect our law enforcement. They've done a great job.
A growing number of Democratic lawmakers now planning to boycott the president's State of the Union Tuesday and instead join a counter-programming rally. The domestic divide coming as President Trump faces concern among longtime allies that his Board of Peace could undermine the United Nations. The Vatican saying Pope Leo will not join the board, following suit with allies like the UK and France.
The United Nations has great potential. They haven't lived up to the potential, but I think they might aid us a little bit.
The board expanding from its initial purpose to reconstruct Gaza, with the White House saying member states have pledged more than $5 billion toward aid and rebuilding. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Well, thank you, Alice, for that report. We now turn to your weather forecast. Cloudy skies present throughout eastern North Carolina right now, but we do have warm air temperatures. Just because it's cloudy does not mean we are missing out on the heat. In fact, quite the opposite. Plenty of areas right now showing above average air temperatures, and that's likely going to continue as we head into tomorrow. Now, I do want to highlight the fact that we are looking at a few sun breaks moving across eastern North Carolina as we speak. They're not widespread and extensive, but when they're over you, it certainly is a nice sight. Always good to see that blue sunny skies. There you can again see some of those broken clouds. The rain showers that we've been tracking around the Albemarle Sound continue to fade as they approach the Atlantic. A little bit further inland, again, watching a few spot showers moving their way across portions of Pitt, Beaufort, and even into Martin counties. Right now, Williamston seeing a little bit of a splash and dash or rain shower there, but we are in need of far more rain than what we have seen today. We're in need of far more rain than what we've got planned for Friday and Saturday and Sunday. In fact, this is the first time we have seen an extreme drought in eastern North Carolina since the major droughts in 2007 and 2008 that had most of the state either under a severe or exceptional drought. So we are again in need of the drops. Hopefully, again, that lightens up the mood around this upcoming wet weekend. We could certainly use a little bit more rain out of this weekend's forecast than what we have currently forecasted. But right now, Goldsboro had some sunshine just a little bit ago, and now those clouds are taken back over. You can see the rays breaking their way through the cloud cover over Belhaven, hitting the Pungo River. Again, beautiful sight to see. fantastic opportunity for a photo shoot. As far as the Neuse River goes, a little bit more cloud cover right now across central Craven County, but air temperatures in the mid-70s, certainly feeling like spring is right around the corner. We've got 75 in Jacksonville, 72 in Kinston, Goldsboro, and Rocky Mount. Quite a bit cooler, though, as you work your way closer to the water. 55 degrees in Elizabeth City, 59 in Manteo, 58 in Hatteras, and 59 as well in Plymouth. Overall, air temperatures warmer than our seasonal average throughout eastern North Carolina, thanks to these southerly winds. Now, those winds are going to hold overnight tonight, and with cloud cover sticking around, we're likely going to be staying in the upper 50s to low 60s by the time we wake up early tomorrow morning. That is going to be a warm start to the day. It'll take us into the mid to upper 70s in the afternoon. It is going to feel quite nice out there. For those of you heading to the Pirate baseball game, I should have details on that coming up in just a few moments. But for Saturday, there will be some spotty showers around, most likely early on in the morning. And then as we wake up on Sunday, more rain will be present, but that will be pulling away from eastern North Carolina as we head over the tail end of the day. There could be perhaps maybe a few sleet stones and snowflakes trying to work their way into the forecast early Monday morning. We're not going to see anything stick, but we could potentially see maybe a stray flake or two fall around Elizabeth City early on Monday. Something, again, that not all of eastern North Carolina is going to see, but some of us may catch a brief glimpse at some wintry precipitation. Obviously, with air temperatures in the mid to upper 70s coming up for tomorrow, this is a classic eastern North Carolina forecast going from spring-like conditions today and tomorrow back to winter-like conditions by the time we get to Monday. But again, for those of you who plan on doing a little tailgating for the Pirates versus Tar Heels, tailgate around 3 p.m. could feature a few isolated raindrops. Air temperatures, though, in the upper 70s certainly going to feel quite nice. First pitch, 73 degrees, not too bad. And then by the time we head home, cloud cover is going to be sticking around, but air temperatures likely reaching into the, we'll likely give it the mid 60s by the time most of us head home. Now, as far as what we've got for the weekend, 40% chance of rain on Saturday turns to an 80% chance of rain on Sunday. We're not looking again at heavy rain showers over the weekend, but more consistent light rain showers. As far as rainfall totals go from Friday, Saturday, and into Sunday, I think most of eastern North Carolina will end up seeing less than an inch of rain, which is a problem. We need more rain out of those systems. So unless we again see a big increase in humidity and a big increase in moisture content of the air, I don't think we're going to be seeing a big dent be put into our rainfall deficit over this weekend and into the start of next week. There is another round of rain expected to come in next Thursday and Friday, encouraging to see. We'll see if those raindrops can get a little bit heavier than the ones we've got planned over the weekend and again on Friday. Well, that's all we have time for today's 2 p.m. News and Weather Update from the First Alert Desk. I want to thank you all so much for joining me. We'll be back with more news and weather coming up at the top of the hour. Until then, have a fantastic rest of your Thursday.